This is from Creepy Encounters. It is by the user Pastel Florist. It is titled Creepy Psychic Woman Outside My Home. I'm on a mobile and using fake names. So this happened end of summer 2021 and I was reminded because of Facebook memories. A little context: from ages 16-19, I was being abused by my ex and his mother Monica. I lived with them because I was kicked out and she had power of attorney over me. Her name wasn't Monica, it was a super unique name I haven't seen anyone else have before. It was a Friday night in the middle of a neighbourhood, filled with bars and clubs, so me and my fiancé wanted to go out. I got all dolled up and my fiancé went to the bar about 30 minutes before me so we could grab some food from a pizza place near the bar. Once I finished getting dressed, I hopped out of my apartment and started heading to the bar that was like 3 blocks away. I noticed a homeless woman outside my apartment, but I shrugged it off. There were always homeless people in my neighbourhood since it was downtown. As I walked past her, I heard her turn and start walking behind me. It definitely creeped me out because I assumed she was just heading my way or was going to ask me for a cigarette or money. But no, what happened sent a shiver down my spine. Monica, Monica, the woman called to me in a raspy smoker's voice. I froze. I hadn't heard that name in years. I was terrified. I took a deep breath, assuming she had confused me for someone, and it's a big coincidence, so I turned back and smiled and said, "Oh, sorry, ma'am, I'm not Monica, I'm Lilac. I hope you find Monica though. Have a good night," and turned to walk away. "No, Monica, I know who you are," she said as she grabbed my shoulder and turned towards her again. I was frozen in fear at this point and finally got a good look at her up close. She was probably in her early 60s, brown hair with growing out grey roots. She had on multiple layers of coats and ripped scrub pants. But what was most noticeable was her eyes. They were dark and her pupils were so large they almost engulfed the dark brown iris. Before I could respond, she looked deep in my eyes in a calm voice and said, "Are you ready to die tonight, Monica?" I instantly went into fight or flight mode and smacked her hands off my shoulder and turned to run to the bar, my hands in my purse and my pepper spray if she tried to follow. She didn't. Instead, she just laughed and laughed. I could hear her laugh echo in my ears along with her question as I ran to the bar. I found my fiancé and just broke down sobbing. He calmed me down and got me a drink, then walked me home a couple of hours later to make sure she wasn't there. The next morning, I heard from a neighbour that the sports bar across the street from the bar I went to had a fatal shooting out front about 2 hours after I left. A man shot and killed one person and hurt 2 more. He was arrested 6 months later and was connected to another bar shooting a month prior, where only one person was injured. The shooting seemed completely random. I never saw that woman again and moved a few months later. That's strange. Someone's commented, "Super creepy, do you have any theories?" The OP has commented, "Probably high as a kite. Knew someone with that name, was confused. Doubt it because I have a lot of piercings and at the time 3 different colours in my hair, so I look pretty unique. Or high as a kite and trying to freak me out as some weird joke and just so happens to call me that name. Theory I accepted as true based on her laughing when I left. Or was high and about to threaten or mug me and stab me. Neighbourhood was bad when it came to violence and crimes." You really think this woman was high, don't you?